Right, okay, this is drawn out of World of Graphics, page 118. So you can see this is the object that we're going to model here. There's 3 different parts in this here. I haven't named them, but 3 different parts. We're going to make an assembly, which just means we join them together, that they're all mated together here. And then we're going to create a drawing of this here, and the picture actually shows in the World of Graphics shows you want an elevation looking from A, and then view looking from C, and a plan looking straight down there from, I presume, B. You can't see it on the page. And you've got all the sizes in this here, so we're going to look through each of these here. Let's see, we'll go back to that. Yeah, there's our drawing now. We're going to create this drawing, and we're going to add in a few dimensions. We're going to add in the views. I see that there's not aligned properly. This one's not aligned. It's left aligned when we're doing these here, as opposed to the way that you would do them normally in your drawn sheets, which would be in the center of it. So the first thing we have to do here is create the drawing in a way. So you go to your Onshape, and we'll hit document and put in the title. This is World of Graphics, so I'm just going to call it Done Graphica because I already have World of Graphics DNG, and it's page 118. Excuse me. So this should generate here now and creates a workspace, and we're given our planes a reference. So what we have to do is we have to pick where we're going to draw from first. And where I'm going to draw from first is I'm going to go to the top plane, and I'm going to go hit sketch. I'm going to name this straight away here. It's a sketch of the, I called it keel. It's the bottom of the boat. So I'm going to draw that there on the top plane. Keep that open. Hit the letter N. Hit the letter N, and it'll bring this around in front of you. There's a few different ways you could do this here. I'm going to go with a center point rectangle up here. I'm going to click it in and drag that out. Now this may take a little second here because I have to open up this picture again. And if you take a look at the size of the keel, if we were looking straight down at it from B, you can see up on the right's 50. And the overall length, if we're adding all that there up, it comes to 200. So I'll get back to this here. So I'm going to put in dimension. There is 200. And the dimension here is 50. I go back to this tab here again of the drawn. It's pointed at the front, and the rest of it we would see would look like a rectangle looking down on it. So you can see that's in 25 and in 25, which is nice and handy. Get back to our drawing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick a line. I'm going to draw up from there. If you hover over this here, you can see where see, you get in closer, you see the square that comes up. We'll pick your center point. And I'm just going to align that, well, you know what, I'll just put it in here to that. You can see it's not perfect. So what I want to do here is I'm going to go up here to these relations that I want to put in. I'm going to, before I do that, I'll click the 2 points here. I want the 2 of them aligned up. So I'll put these vertically. So the 2 of them are vertically aligned from each other. And that one's at the midway point, and now I need to put in a couple of dimensions. So I'll go to the corner, to the point, and I know that's 25. I could zoom that back out a wee bit, and you can see the other ones moved at the same time. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the scissors here, and what I'll do is I'll cut that out. And you can see that it's going blue again, which means it's not defined. So I have to put in another couple of dimensions just to make that work out. So I'll go from the corner here to here and take that out, and that's 25. You see it's grey because it's already got that, and I need to put in the overall dimension of the object. Then I'll just pick from the point to here, and you see that's 200 because I was missing that, and everything's gone black there now. When it's grey, it means it's already got the dimension, but doesn't have it, and the other one, I'll just drag that into the middle. So now I have the keel of the boat drawn out here, and that's on the top plane. Let's see, I rename that there. I could just call it the boat body or whatever if you wanted, as long as you name it. And I've got the keel. Now back to the picture. The height of this thing, the keel comes up, or the bottom of the boat comes up 40. So I'll get back into my Onshape, and I want to do an extrude. And I'm going to pick that. You can see it's orange there now. I pick that surface, and you see it's already dragging it up 25, but I want it up 40. So change that to 40. And I want to name that as well too. That's the extrude of the keel. And I'll OK that. That's that part drawn. Take a look. Then there's a couple of openings here. Simple dimensions, 20 in, and then it's the same 20 in and 20 in from that edge, not from the end of the boat, from the end of the boat the other side. And it comes down to halfway, which is 20. So I'll just show you how we do that there. So I need to go to sketch again, and this time I'm picking the front surface of the boat, the bottom of the boat. Hit the letter N to bring it normal to, and I'll just say cutouts. So they have to be cut out of the, so it's a sketch of the cutouts. Keep that open. Go up to your rectangle here, go corner rectangle, and just on that line there, draw a rectangle anywhere. And the same to draw a rectangle anywhere there, so long as it's touching the top of it and any size. And I'll hit escape just to get out of that. I'm going to put in, I can put in a relation here actually. So I could go with an equal relation, say, pick equal, pick that, and yeah, it's 20 across as well too, so that and that. So each of them are equal. I've added that relation now. Well, actually, I'm not sure. I'll just click that, click that. Yeah, they're all equal now. Yeah. So they've moved to equal size, and what I need to do now is I want to put in a dimension for this, which is 20. And it's moved everything's 20 now. It's 20 down, 20 out, because of the equal relation. If you see, if I go there, it'll put it in grey because it's already there. It's already got it. So now I want this a distance of 20 up. It's already got it too again, because that's 20 is half of the thing. I take it out to the end. I'll put in the 20, so there's no need for that. I could delete that. Just backspace, and I want to go to my dimension again for this here, and I take from that edge to that edge, and I'll put it in 20. And now I have the squares that I want to take out as the cutouts, and that's okay. Now go to the extrude. This time, instead of adding something, I want to remove it. And I can go through all, because it's going to go the whole way out. I want to pick that. I want to pick that. So I've picked, you can see there the faces and the regions that you want to extrude. And I'm merging it with all. Well, I don't need to actually, because it's going to come in. I'm not going to bother naming the part because it's the first part. And I'm going to call that the extrude of the keel. And that's good. So I've everything drawn there now so far in the bottom part of the boat. Now I'm going to make the next part here, this kind of, I suppose the cab maybe, I'll call that. I might have called it something different than the other one, so I'll just call it the cab. You can see it's starting there at that edge of the cutout. It's actually 30 wide. And I'm not going to get too worked up about the shape of this here, the sizes of it. I'm going to draw the general shape, which you can see comes up from the edge, goes over horizontal, comes vertical, and then horizontal. So let's have a go at that. So the front plane is where I'm going to draw. So I'll go to sketch, pick the front plane, hit the letter N, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to line. Now I can't pick that edge because it's not showing up on it, so I actually have to go up here to this wee box here and go to, let's see now, which is rendering performance. I'll get that. go use, and I want to see now that orange line, that's going to come up when I hit use. It's drawn it on that particular that plane. So I'll go back to N. Now I can go to my line. I'm going to go to that corner, it's able to pick up on it. I'll draw it out at an angle, draw it across. The only thing is you want to don't line it up with something, is the only thing, because it can snap to stuff and then it's, you know, it can be right. Sometimes it can be hard to get that horizontal. I'm going to draw it off horizontal. You can see when you do hit horizontal, the wee sign should come up for it. But I'm going to make it not horizontal. I'm going to take this down, and sometimes it is vertical now, and I'll make it purposely not vertical just to show how it fix these things up. So if you click that, and you want that vertical, just head up to the properties and hit vertical. You want that horizontal, click it, and go up here to the properties and hit horizontal. Now you've got everything sorted out on that. That draw now, the blue's not defined, the black is defined. I don't want all of that black line. I'm going to take the scissors and cut that off. And now you can see what's happening there on that. Again, hit normal. Go back to this. Need the original drawing here to see what sizes is. That's 45 and 30, which is 75. Then the height of it is 30. And this comes back in the way 30. So even if I have to go back to that reference, it's all right. Take your dimension, 75. Oh, now it's snapped onto something else, so I just get off with that there. I'll take that and I'll put in my 75 again. This is, pretty sure it was 30, and I can always double check that, and I'm pretty sure this was 30 as well. Just will double check that now before I OK it. So yeah, 30 and 30, and that there distance, yeah, that's fine. So now we have this drawn, but it's on the front plane, which is right in the middle of the boat, which is handy. And I'll rename this as well to cab, and I'll OK that. Now I'm going to extrude that, and you may remember that it's 15 out both directions, so I'm going to go to my extrude of the cab, pick the extrude, pick the surface. You see it's orange there, it's closed up, and I want that there to be 30, but I want it to be symmetric, where it's going out both sides, so you can see it's after moving over here. And another thing as well too, I don't want to add it to this here unless I wanted it to be a full part. I want this to be a new part so that I can put the colours on it when I'm doing it at the end. So I'm going to change that to a new part, and that's the cab. And now it's slightly different colour because it's a different part. You can see down the left, the design tree, you have two parts. And the last wee bit of this here, and I'll leave it at that there. We'll do the sketch. I want to go to the top of the cab, and you can see there's anything that's red, obviously there's a problem with it. I hadn't it named or hadn't it picked or selected where I wanted to sketch, and I'll call this chimney. So when I draw a chimney on the top of this here, I'll hit N to go. So you click into the blank space and I'll hit N. Now, you could take a line and draw a line and all that there where the two of them would be, but I'm not. I'm just going to pick a circle. Now I'll zoom it in a bit so we can see this. That's the midway point shown in the orange there, and it's the midway point shown there and the plane. So it's very easy to pick the line. You see the two of them lining up there now. Might be a wee bit hard to see. There's two orange squares. That shows me that that's in the middle there. And you see the alignment as well too has been shown on that. That takes a wee bit. There is other ways of doing that, but that's probably the easiest way. And there is a dimension on that there, and I can't remember what the dimension is. 10, radius 10. So we're putting in a diameter. Instead of 10, it's going to be 20. So we have a circle now. Hit F and it'll focus it back in here. I don't know what way I spelled chimney here. Better. Yeah, I'll OK that. Now, what I want to do is I want to extrude that, but I need to know the height of it. It's 20. Go to the extrude, pick the circle. I should have pulled that in a bit closer for people to see. and it's not 25, it's 20, and I don't want to add it. Some people made this mistake in the last one we drew where they were just adding the pieces to them. I'm going to put it new, and it creates a new part, and that's the chimney. I'll OK that. Now I've got my boat here, and all I want to do is I want to put on a few finishes on this here. So I hit the tab here for the appearance panel, and you can see it's got 3 different parts. So I should be able to apply colours to each of these. That's a bit strong, maybe. I can't remember. I think it was a green. I think I put for that there in the last one. Part 2, I'll pick some sort of yellow, and part 3, I'll go with that. No, I'm not out of it actually. That's why. See, go here, and I'll OK that, and then go back in here for part 3. I'll go a lighter colour blue, maybe. I'll OK that. Don't know why that is. Double click that again. And OK it. Yeah, it's brighter. And the first one is changed back as well too, so I'll change that back to a lighter colour green. It's a sickly looking green. We'll go with that. And I'll just reduce the size of this here. And you have each of the planes then drawn out here. They're still in the view. So I'm just going to hide them. I'm going to hide the origin as well too. And maybe just to complete this part now before we go to do the drawing, because there's a wee bit in the drawing, is I'm going to rename the tab down here for the Part Studio, and I'm going to call it Boat. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the Assembly tab. I'm going to go Insert, and I'll just pick Boat, and that'll insert this in an assembly here. So you can see the 3 different parts are in this. That's an assembly where they're all joined together. And I have my boat back here. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to do a drawing, and I'm going to stop the recording here now.